Welcome to the video. Today we'll unpack why clarity, not just cash, determines whether you can buy a home in the next 12 months. We'll explore the key idea that location is destiny, how lenders actually evaluate you and your partner together, and the exact math for down payments and reserves. We'll also show step-by-step how to know if your timeline is realistic, plus examples, diagrams, and quick quizzes to lock it in. First, let's set the agenda. Here's our plan for the video. We'll start with the brutal truth about location. Then we'll define a target price and explain how the combined partner picture works. After that, we'll calculate the down payment and reserves and build a 12-month plan. We will also cover debt-to-income ratios using diagrams, walk through example numbers, and finish with quick quizzes and key takeaways. Next, let's address the brutal truth. The brutal truth is that saving money without a precise target home price and location leaves you spinning in place. In today's market, the same savings go very differently depending on the area. $27,000 can be substantial in a low-cost region, but nearly meaningless in a high-cost metro. With that in mind, let's dig into why location dominates outcomes. Location drives price levels, property taxes, insurance, association fees, inventory, and competitiveness. In a low-cost market, $27,000 may stretch into closing costs and part of the down payment. In a high-cost market, the same amount may not even cover earnest money or inspection, let alone reserves. Therefore, define your target geography early, because it dictates the required cash and the pace at which you must save. Next, let's compare low-cost and high-cost areas side by side. In low-cost areas, median prices from roughly $250,000 to $350,000 keep down payments and reserves more attainable. Property taxes and insurance are often moderate, and competitive pressure can be lower. In high-cost areas, median prices of $700,000 to over $1.2 million increase every cash component, including down payment, closing costs, and reserves. Competition and appraisal risk can further increase the cash needed. With that contrast in mind, let's define your exact target. To aim for a 12-month purchase, start by picking your specific neighborhoods and researching actual sold comparable properties, not just list prices. Next, determine if you are buying solo or with a partner, because lenders evaluate combined income, combined debts, and combined savings. Finally, set a down payment percentage between 10 and 20% based on your target home price. Add estimated closing costs and confirm that after paying the down payment and closing, you still have 3 to 6 months of living expenses and cash reserves. If any of these steps fail, adjust your target price or timeline. Now let's turn this into a concrete step-by-step process. Begin by identifying 2 or 3 target neighborhoods and computing realistic price ranges using recent closed sales. Obtain a lender pre-approval to test your actual debt-to-income ratio and confirm a feasible price ceiling. Next, list all debts and total your gross monthly income. Then compute your debt-to-income ratio as the lender will. Choose a down payment percentage and add an estimate for closing costs. Confirm that after closing, you will retain at least 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash. Determine the remaining savings gap, divide by the months left, and automate transfers to hit the target. Add a buffer for inspections, appraisal gaps, and moving costs. To ground this, let's walk through example numbers. These example scenarios are illustrative only. In a low-cost area at $300,000, a 15% down payment is $45,000, and closing costs around 3% are $9,000, for a subtotal of $54,000 before reserves. With 4 months of expenses at $4,000 per month, required reserves would be $16,000. Bringing total cash needed to roughly $70,000. If you currently have $27,000, the gap is $43,000, requiring about 22 months at $2,000 per month. In a high-cost metro at $800,000, the 15% down payment is $120,000, and closing at 3% is $24,000, totaling $144,000 before reserves. With 4 months of expenses at $4,000 per month, total cash needed becomes $168,000. With $27,000 saved, the gap is $141,000, which is about 71 months at $2,000 per month. Your actual taxes, insurance, and closing costs will vary. Next, let's visualize how lenders think about debt to income. This flowchart shows how lenders evaluate your application. First, they gather your gross monthly income. Then they total your monthly debts including proposed housing payment, auto loans, student loans, and credit cards. They compute your debt-to-income ratio by dividing total monthly debts by gross monthly income. If your DTI is at or below 36%, that is often considered strong. Between 36 and 43% is a caution range where approval might depend on compensating factors. Above 43 to 45% frequently leads to denial in standard programs. The output is to adjust your target price, increase your down payment, or pay down debt. Next, let's visualize a typical income allocation. This pie chart illustrates a sample monthly income allocation where housing is 28%, other debt 8%, living costs 40%, and savings or investing 24%. A total debt-to-income ratio at or below 36% provides more flexibility for unexpected expenses. Many lenders have caps around 43 to 45%. Maintaining a lower DTI makes your budget more resilient. Now, let's connect down payment and reserves. Your down payment percentage should align with your target price and the loan program. Add an estimate of 2 to 4% for closing costs, and remember moving, setup, and minor repairs. Crucially, keep 3 to 6 months of living expenses in cash after you close. Draining your savings to zero sets you up for immediate risk. Next, let's map out a 1-year timeline to hit your savings target. This timeline lays out a 12-month path. At month 0, choose neighborhoods and analyze closed sales. In month 1, secure a pre-approval. By month 2, finalize your price band and down payment target. From months 3 through 10, automate monthly savings and monitor progress. At month 6, reassess your debt-to-income ratio. Between months 8 and 10, attend open houses and create a finalist list. In month 11, submit offers if the numbers still work. And in month 12, aim to close while confirming reserves remain intact. With the plan set, let's test your understanding. Question 1. Which factor most changes how far your savings will go toward buying a home? Option A, your credit score alone. Option B, your age. Option C, location and target price range. Option D, the brand of your bank account. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is option C, location and target price range. The same amount of savings yields different outcomes depending on local prices, taxes, insurance, and competitiveness. Next, another quick check on reserves. Question 2. After paying your down payment and closing costs, what should remain? Option A, nothing. Option B, 1 month of expenses. Option C, 3 to 6 months of expenses. Option D, only a credit card. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is option C, 3 to 6 months of expenses as an emergency fund. Reserves protect you from the inevitable surprises that follow a home purchase. Next, a quick lender mechanics diagram to reinforce the partner concept. This sequence diagram shows how 2 borrowers are evaluated. Buyer A and Buyer B provide income and debt information to the lender. The lender aggregates these figures into combined income and combined debts, and then computes a combined debt-to-income ratio. The decision point checks whether the combined DTI is at or below approximately 40%. If so, the application proceeds. If not, the lender may require paying down debt, increasing the down payment, or selecting a lower target price. Now let's close with key takeaways. Remember these key points. First, location determines your cash target, so define it early. Second, lenders assess the combined debt-to-income of partners. Third, down payment plus reserves are non-negotiable. Fourth, automate savings toward a defined gap across a realistic timeline. Finally, if the math does not work, adjust price, area, or timeline instead of guessing. Now, a short summary to tie it together. In summary, stop arbitrary saving and define your target price, your combined partner picture, and your down payment immediately. Validate your plan with a lender pre-approval and real debt-to-income math. Maintain 3 to 6 months of reserves after closing. If the numbers do not work, pivot your price, area, or timeline rather than forcing a purchase. Before we wrap, a brief disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. Your market, loan program, and personal situation will differ. Always consult a qualified lender and, if needed, a fiduciary financial advisor before acting. Finally, here's how you can support the channel. Thanks for watching. If this clarified your path, please like the video, share it with a friend who is house hunting, and subscribe for more practical walkthroughs. Tell us your market and price target in the comments so we can workshop it together.